With the YouTube adpocalypse still looming over many channels, if you want to support this one, check out my Teespring store for the latest merch. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and Star Wars The Last Jedi hit DVD and Blu-ray right at the end of March. March 27th is when it came out. And there's been some talk recently about comparing its Blu-ray and DVD sales to The Force Awakens and how it pales in comparison. And the sad thing is, it's actually pretty accurate. Even though the numbers aren't fully in yet, we can get a solid idea of where things are at and what's happening and how this is possible to end up being a pretty decent sized financial misstep for Disney and of course Lucas and of course Kathleen Kennedy. So let's just take a look here at the numbers.com. So this is Star Wars Episode VIII, The Last Jedi. We can see here that it had a domestic box office gross of $620 million, an international box office gross of $697 million, coming to a total cum of $1.318 billion. That's a lot of fucking money. That is a lot of money. Okay, so you figure something like that would do gangbusters on home video, right? It would do gangbusters on home video. Well, just looking at the estimated DVD sales and Blu-ray sales here, it comes to $53 million earned in the first week. Now, again, that's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but just look at these numbers here. So you've got week one, and all we have right now is access to the week one information, right? And I think that's kind of a good place to start, even though I'd like to have more info before diving into this, but at the same time, it's fine. So DVD sales were 437,642, and the Blu-ray sales were 1.94 million. All right, so you kind of lump those two together, and you're going to get somewhere around 2.3 million, right? So it's or 2.4 million, somewhere in there. It's around there. So those are what's been sold in the first week. Again, not bad. $53 million is what it's earned. But let's take a quick look here at comparing it to the Force Awakens, which had a total cumulative gross of $2.58 billion, having brought in a lot of money international, nearly $1 billion domestic. So close to the billion. But just look here at its video sales equals $188 million. All right, what it's been able to put together so far, the Blu-ray and the DVD sales combined, $188 million. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, but Matt, we only have the week one numbers to look at in regards to The Last Jedi. How can we compare that to the total run for The Force Awakens? Well, we can't. You're right. We can't. But what we can look at here at least is compare first week to first week. So just for first week in DVD sales, it had 669,318. All right, now that's been cut down by a couple 100,000 in terms of Last Jedi, but that could also be, and this is just a reality, it could also be the fact that we've moved away from DVD sales. Blu-rays are now cheaper than ever. Blu-ray players, at least, are cheaper than ever to buy, and maybe more people are going to buy that. But look here at the Blu-ray sales for just week one. We're talking 3.4 million copies sold in the first week. The first week. For a movie that was panned by critics and fans of just being a recreation of A New Hope, right? 4 million copies were sold. Almost 4.1 million copies were sold on home video in that first week. And of course, it does drop off dramatically from there. It doesn't give me the totals, and I haven't added them up myself, but we can basically see that the DVD sales dropped pretty heavily, and it still grossed $151 million for its take home in terms of the home video sales. And that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. I mean, 1.9 million is not a small number, so I'm not trying to say that it is. I bought the movie when it came out, so I'm one of those people. But still, 1.9 million is a far cry away from 3.4 million, right? That's a lot. That is a huge drop. Okay, that's a pretty big drop for an episode purchase. Now, these are just home video sales. This has nothing to do with digital. There's been a big push for digital from 2015 to 2017, or really in this case, 2016 to 2018. So that could have a factor into it. I don't know, but we're looking just at home video sales. But I don't think it'd be fair to compare the two together without looking into Rogue One, right? You got to look at Rogue One real quick. Take a look. So Rogue One had a total take home of $1.05 billion during its entire run. And it's funny because it's actually about $1 billion less than The Force Awakens made a year earlier. That's $1 billion less than Force Awakens. Now, just looking here, when it came out, almost a year to the week after Force Awakens did, it brought in 341,000 DVD sales, 1.862 or 1.86 million Blu-ray sales, right? And so just looking at the Last Jedi here, we're looking at 1.94 and its first week, and this had 80,000 fewer sales just on Blu-ray. Rogue One had 80,000 fewer sales, and it went on to gross a total take-home 82 million between both. So again, it's like an additional 82 million on home video that helped bring it in there. Whereas that's about half, a little more than half of what The Force Awakens made. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with The Last Jedi here in terms of future sales, but we can already see that the sales numbers have dropped off considerably. 53 million in the first week of sales is not bad. Let's be fair. That's not bad at all. But is it going to live up to what Force Awakens made? No, it's not. Is it going to do better than Rogue One? Maybe. But we've seen that DVD sales are dwindling, and those are going to end up dropping off. And it could pick up more as it gets closer to the holiday season, as there's no Star Wars movie coming out. Maybe people are going to buy it on the cheap, and everything else in that one. Who knows? But definitely the numbers don't lie that there was a big break in terms of people purchasing The Last Jedi. Now, a lot of the reason why I think people bought The Last Jedi, one of the reasons why I bought The Last Jedi, my copy I've had now for a few months, it still sits unopened. And the reason why it sits unopened is because I just haven't got around to watching it and felt like watching it, to be honest with you. But I also bought it as part of a collection. I am like many geeks in that regard, where I will buy something that's part of a collection, even if it's not a good entry, just to have it in my collection. Like, I own all 8 Fast and Furious movies on Blu-ray, and I even own the third one and the second one because they're part of a collection. I bought them to have them be part of a collection, even if I'm not a huge fan. So I think a lot of geeks and everything else, they will do that as a way to show their love for a particular product. They will buy it. Come on, okay. Let me just kind of summarize it like this. How many of you out there who are diehard Star Wars fans, and I'm sure there's a lot of you watching this video, but how many of you out there right now that are diehard Star Wars fans absolutely own copies of the prequel trilogy? Now, I'm not just talking Blu-ray, but I'm talking DVD and Blu-ray, and maybe even in the case of Phantom Menace, VHS. And I guarantee you there are a lot of you out there that do, because I did. I owned it on VHS, right? Phantom Menace. I bought the Attack of the Clones in 2003 when it came out on DVD. I bought Revenge of the Sith in 2005 when it came out right around Christmas on DVD. And then when they released the Phantom Menace on DVD, I bought it to have part of the collection, even though I'm not a huge fan of that movie. I bought, the 6 set, the full disc set of Star Wars, the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, even though I've only watched, Phantom Menace one time on that. I bought Last Jedi because I want to have it as part of a collection. And I think I'm not alone in that particular mindset. There's a lot of collectors out there, people that very much want to have this type of, collect the DVD in their collection just to have it on their wall. Even if you dislike it, you kind of still want it there. Now, that's not everybody. And like I said, digital is a big part now. Digital is a big thing. But we can't deny that the numbers are showing that it's just not doing as well on home video as compared to The Force Awakens. And, I mean, it only did a little bit better than Rogue One. And Rogue One was met with controversy as well. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with the drop-off after that. But I also like to point out one key thing here. The price of the movies have gone up since Force Awakens. So Disney's doing this thing now where their Blu-rays are releasing at $22.99 versus the original $19.99, and that could have an impact. $3 when you go past your impulse purchase limit, which is normally about $15 to $20. Usually $15 is like on the high end of impulse buy. $20 is on the high end, like almost, that's like it's a very high end part of impulse. But I think people have gotten used to it. When you cross over $20, when it goes from $19.99 over to that too, people then honestly look at that as being a bit more expensive, even though it's only a couple dollars, which in the long run has very little impact on our life. And so people maybe aren't buying it as a result result of that, they're waiting for it to drop in price. They're waiting for it to come to streaming, because we know that it's coming, I think, to Netflix this month, The Last Jedi is. And of course, the Disney streaming service comes out next year. And when that happens and those movies head over there, are people not even going to purchase? Are these DVD sales going to drop in price simply because people aren't going to spend them for the physical media when they can get it streaming? So there are factors about where we currently are in terms of physical media purchases and where we are in regards to that. But there's also no denying that the home market is still earns a lot of money for these movies. And so when you end up hearing, like, you know, like even with Ghostbusters, it was like, oh, you want a sequel, go buy the DVD, go buy this. It's because that extra money comes in. And so here's the thing. Solo may not be doing well theatrically, but I do feel the movie is going to do well on home video, because I think people are going to probably warm up to the concept of it by then. And I think, you know, by the time it comes out, which they've already opened up for pre-order in many cases, is probably going to end up selling pretty well. So again, this is kind of where we are. I just wanted to run through this, you know, and talk about it because I find it to be fascinating. I like the numbers, I like the business. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think that this is a sign of the fandom saying F you to The Last Jedi and just not buying it, not engaging with it? Do you think that it's the increase of price that Disney's put on these movies? Do you think it's the digital now and streaming is going to be a big factor? I'm curious to know your thoughts on this one. Please let me know in the comments. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check back often for more content from me. And if you want to see more, you can do so right now.